Hello, welcome to the 1956 French Grand Prix. And the big news here is that the championship leader, Jackfairman, is on pole position. But we have a bit of a bizarre situation because like in the 1975 Argentine Grand Prix on that Evo series, the game has randomly given me an outsider second on the grid rather than 20-something. Hernanodasilvaramos qualified in 24th, but he's been gifted second on the grid here, and no matter what I do, I can't get around it without duplicating Jackfairman and taking De Silva Ramos totally off, which would be a very stupid situation anyway. So De Silva Ramos gets given a free front row start. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he can do. That Gordini hasn't been the quickest through the season, but it has been reliable. But then so have the connaughts generally. So could be in for a battle for the win today, De Silva Ramos, along with Fairman, who is the championship leader, of course. The Ferraris, like in the opening round in Argentina, Ferrari were not too hot in qualifying, and I think Gordini and Fangio are the only two Ferraris that actually start in the top 10. Look at that, Phil Collins. No, I'll call him Phil Collins again. Peter Collins. That's because I was thinking about this pun I wanted to make. So Phil Collins was on my mind. I know that he's full well he's called Peter Collins, but anyway. So Peter Collins, well, in a land of confusion in 15th, and I guess once you go into a land of confusion, it eventually takes you down with the sickness, right? So yeah, there was my little pun. It's left me feeling a little bit disturbed. But yes, you can see the Ferraris, still some of them not even in the top 20, as you can see from Frere and Di Portago there. So yeah, so difficult race coming up for them. Whether it'll make any difference, because we know that Ferraris are so unstable, they tend to all go off the road within the first sort of 4 or 5 corners of the Grand Prix. So be interesting to see if they can change that record today, or if it's going to be the same throughout the season. So Jackfairman then starting on pole position. He will look to extend his World Championship lead. If he gets a win today and none of the guys close to him get many big points, then he could be almost there. Oh, Fairman getting away well, but De Silva Ramos is away better. De Silva Ramos is into the lead. What a start for De Silva Ramos in the Gordini. Incredible. And this will please a lot of people, because I know from previous videos we've posted from this season that De Silva Ramos is a bit of a cult hero, and I'm sure you guys will be rooting for him, and we will keep our fingers crossed, because this, remember, Gordini are pulling out for next season, and even though the only things that confirm for next season is the calendar, and that Jackfairman is staying at Connaught, Manzon and De Silva Ramos are certainly not guaranteed a drive, because they have not got a team underneath them anymore next year. So they're going to have to move somewhere. Will they be guaranteed a drive? We don't know. So if Gordini managed to pull this off, I mean, what a result that would be, in spite of the fact that they were gifted that position in qualifying. If they win it, that'll be totally their own ability. So yeah, well done so far. Moss has not got any base. Moss won in Belgium, but he is struggling. He's down to 4th already. You would have thought Moss would be up with those connaughts, but Scotty's got ahead of Moss easily, and so Fairman and Scotty are running 2nd and 3rd, but De Silva Ramos is pulling out a lead. He's really going well here, Hermano De Silva Ramos, and you'll have to excuse us because I think the camera at the moment is really enjoying the Tree Grand Prix of 1956. There we go, we cut to Fairman's on board now. This is something you didn't see in real life in 1956, so we can enjoy it here riding down the road with Jackfairman, and then pieroscotti, his teammate behind him there in 2nd and 3rd at the moment. Stirlingmoss still in 4th. Mikehawthorn, remember, he had a reasonable start of the season, pretty consistent. There's Fangio going for a move on Godia, and Fangio still in the race at the minute. No stability issues, it would appear, for the Ferrari. So he's right in this race, Fangio, potentially. He could just sit there and try to get a point or two, and I'm sure Ferrari will want Fangio to take it easy. They will want to bank some points, because they're still sitting with none in the constructors. There goes De Silva Ramos. He is coming towards the end of lap 1 already, and Jackfairman in 2nd and pieroscotti behind him. Those two connaughts, I think, keeping order, and I think they will keep order unless Fangio is up in a 4th. So Fangio has dealt with both Moss and Hawthorn in one straight. What we were saying is Hawthorn has had a good start of the season, quite consistent, but he's been out of it. We thought with a better qualifying here that Hawthorn would be back in contention and get some good points this weekend, but he's dropping back. Remember, in 1956 only the top 5 score points, and we don't include the point for fastest lap. Now, I don't really think there's a mechanism for the game to tell us who's got it anyway, but we like to keep things simple. The Silva Ramos, there he is, in the lead. He's already a third of the way through the race. And if the car holds together and the Silva Ramos keeps it going, there's every reason to believe that he could win this Grand Prix for Gordini. I mean, if Gordini take a home win, how remarkable would that be? And also for Connaught, they would get a result they're happy with. But Connaught might have to watch Fangio, because Fangio appears to have some pace. But at the same point, Ferrari are going to want to try to at least make sure they get some points on the board. So, I mean, at the moment, they're pointless, and they're sitting behind the likes of Van Wall and BRM in the constructors. So, Ferrari will want to try to get something back. But at the moment, Fangio is there in fourth, and he's pulling away from Stirlingmoss, who doesn't really appear to have any answer at all. So, and Musso has passed Moss as well. So those Ferraris have got some good pace. The Maseratis, who looked quite decent in qualifying, they have not got anything in this Grand Prix. They've got no pace at all. Their only way of getting back into those points, I believe, will be if there is a retirement ahead of them. And, well, we'll keep our fingers crossed for Ferrari. They really need some points. We're going to go on board with Silva Ramos to try to avoid the tree Grand Prix. And Silva Ramos there, still in the lead and pulling further away from the Connaught, so it would seem. I don't think Fairman can match him. Fairman is, obviously, he's looking to bank the points for the championship anyway. This is a good way to do it. I mean, Silva Ramos will move up, but he's not. If it was Pedisa, who was second in the championship going to this race, winning the race, I think Fairman would have a bit more urgency. But Pedisa has been largely anonymous in this Grand Prix. Qualified, I think, 11th, 13th, something like that, but he's not been able to make any inroads, and he's nowhere near the points. And as you can see, those Maseratis are falling back anyway. So here comes Hernanodasilvaramos. He is about to complete 2/3 race distance, and that Gordini is still in the lead, and he's not looking like he's showing any sign of weakness. Jackfairman still in second place, and he's got a nice little gap over Scotty, maybe pulling it out slightly, but I think Connaught would have told Scotty to hold station behind Jackfairman, because obviously Jackfairman going for the World Championship. Scotty, he's got his first points last time out. He'll be happy with more points here, especially if he can hang on to the podium. But those Ferraris are closing in. They're not closing in that quickly. Is there time for Fangio to catch the Connaughts by the end of the race? I'm not too sure. And Fangio will want to make sure it brings home some points. So we'll see. It's open. And look at that lead that Silva Ramos has pulled out. It's nearly 14 seconds over Jackfairman. He is doing an absolutely incredible job. And this race is just getting better and better for Silva Ramos. And we didn't think that if he was going to get a result like this, we certainly wouldn't have seen it coming this easily, or apparently easily. Look at that. Fangio is 6 seconds behind, 6.5 behind Scotty. Can he close that gap in this one remaining lap? Because the Ferrari does appear to have some pace, but nobody can match the Silva Ramos for pace, that's for sure. If there was a fastest lap point, I'm pretty sure where that would be going. It would be going to the underdog, who is out in front and making it look easy today. Manzon in that second Gordini is up to 10th, so Gordini's still clearly have a lot of pace, but Manzon was a bit hamstrung, because I think he started down in 27th on the grid, so he's had a long way to come through. And unlike most of the races this season, there has not been a particularly high attrition rate. Obviously there's been some, because it's 1950s, and some of the Ferraris haven't been able to hold it onto the road. But most crucially, there are two who have so far, and they are still sitting there in 4th and 5th place, looking to bank 5 very welcome points for the Scuderia. And if they keep this up, that will be, well, it'll be some progress for Ferrari. We know Ferrari have had pace this season and haven't managed to use it. Well, today at least they are looking like they could be on potentially for some points, but we won't speak too soon. Let's wait till the checkered flag. Tarufi's Maserati, we can hear, has just gone out of the Grand Prix, so that's another guy who was on 8 points and could have maybe made some inroads on Fairman today, but, well, he hasn't really featured, has he? Here comes the Silva Ramos now, coming out of the last corner. We have got to watch this Gordini victory parade, but we are seeing where the Ferraris are in relation to the Connaughts. They're definitely closing, but they're still not closing particularly quickly. Fangio is in view. Scotty in particular will be aware of him and aware of his role to try to cushion Fairman a little bit. But here comes the Silva Ramos. He's going to come across the line and win the French Grand Prix for Gordini. What a performance this has been. And Well, we're nearly about to cross the line. Here we go. Silva Ramos claims victory in France. What an emotional day for France. They see their Gordinis win. They see Silva Ramos win. They know that Gordini are pulling out of the sport next year, and what a way for them to really make things happen today by getting that victory. Jackfairman comes home second. He will extend his championship lead. Was 3 points over Pedisa, will now be 7 over Silva Ramos, and you only get 8 points for a win. There's 3 rounds to go. Jackfairman is closing in on this world championship, and he'll be absolutely delighted if he can do it. But Silva Ramos, Gordini, they have had their day in the sun today. They will be absolutely delighted with that. And Fangio and Musso, they do claim the first Ferrari points of 1956. So let's have a look at the results then, just to confirm. Hernanodasilvaramos wins the French Grand Prix for Gordini. Jackfairman finishes second in the connaught. Pieroscotti is third in the second connaught, so a good haul of points for connaught today. Juanmanuelfangio, fourth for Ferrari. No surprise that it is the triple world champion who brings home the points when they finally come. And luigimusso finishing in fifth, so he's done well, and that will certainly put him up in Ferrari's estimation, considering that the drivers potentially like Collins and Castellotti, who could be ahead of him in the pecking order of Ferrari's priorities, did not bring home any points, so that will reflect very well on luigimusso. The Drivers' World Championship then, let's see what that looks like now. Jackfairman leads it on 20 points. Hernanodasilvaramos currently second on 13. Pedisa third on 11. Then you've got Bearer, Hawthorn, Taruffi and Moss all on 8. Scotty closing in on them. He's on 7 now. Manzon on 6 still from that second place scored in Argentina. Flockhart also on 6. Uriah on 4. Godia also on 4. Then Trantignon, Fangio, Maglioli, Gordini and Musso. The Constructors' Championship, Maserati on 55. Connaught 27. Gordini 19. BRM 6. Ferrari 5. And Van Wall 3. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and we shall see you soon. Take care.